Hey, welcome to Elite Heat. As you can see, it's just me today. My name is Doug. Thanks for hanging out. We are going to look at what happened on tonight's Dynamite. Of course, this is the follow-up. We're looking at the fallout from the clash in Australia. And I don't know if you know this, they were in Australia this weekend. And Collision this past weekend in Australia, pretty solid. We saw a lot of action, but this is the fallout. And we're going to see a return. If you've been looking at social media, you know I'm excited about this return, but we saw a return, kinda. At least they made an appearance. But this night was full of just pretty solid matches. We'll just dive into it. Okay, we're just going to dive into it. So, kicking things off, we once again started the show with hearing from the wrestlers. We heard from Kenny, we heard from Swerve, we heard from 3 out of the 4 women that were in the 4-way match for the women's title. Did not hear from Marina Shafir for reasons. There we go. We went immediately to an interview with Renee Paquette talking to Orange Cassidy because he was supposed to have a tag match with Roddy Strong. Roddy Strong bailed on him during their tag match last week, and so he needs a partner. But luckily, the conglomeration has a lot of people in it. We're going to see Orange and Ishii tag, and always glad to see Ishii in the ring. We'll get to that as it starts. But man, the opening match, Jon Moxley against Mark Davis. And let me just say, AEW, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think they're doing a great job of building Mark Davis into this beast. Unfortunately, his tag partner immediately was injured, so this immediate run of 2 monsters got nipped in the bud, but they're keeping him in the focus, and I like what they're doing with him. Moxley ended up going over, ended up getting the pin, but Mark Davis looked really solid in this endeavor against Moxley. And let me just say, Moxley is looking amazing. He looks fit. He looks great. He's moving well. And this face Moxley, and clearly this is the popular face Moxley, he is over with the crowd. The crowds loved him. The crowds love him. But tonight something happened. I don't know if I've seen it before. Mark Davis did the thing where he went to punch Mox, and Mox moved, and Davis hit the ring post. But then his hand was bleeding. So I don't know if I've ever seen them sell that injury like that, but I thought that was really cool. Really good, really nice little touch. And of course, Moxley went to town on his hand, stomped it, kicked it, did all kinds of gnarly things to it, bit it. Come on, John, that's blood, and it's not yours. Don't put it in your mouth. What are you thinking? And Davis did a gut wrench pile driver. I'm not even sure how he did it. I don't know if he meant to do it, but he did it, and it looked completely devastating. But Mox got the win with a bullet choke. Solid match. Again, I thought Davis looked really good even in the loss. Then next up, we had the Hangman segment from Saturday. Backstage, he was super intense, very solid. If you saw it on social media, you know what I'm talking about. But he was very serious, and I like this serious Hangman. I really do. Then out in the ring, FTR comes out. I don't know. They just came out. They weren't supposed to. They come out. As they come out, they eventually call out the Young Bucks. They start saying, I'm running them down and saying, remember in 2016 when you were the best? Now you're second. It must suck. And we don't like you. We don't like your kids. And that's when, of course, the Bucks came in, super kicked everybody. So, and then basically we're going to see Bucks and FTR at Revolution later in the show. That gets confirmed. So yeah, Bucks come out. Super kick party. Everyone's laying on the ground. They walk away. We're going to see, once again, the Bucks and FTR. And you could give that to me all the time. I'm not going to argue with a Bucks FTR match, especially at Revolution. I'm really liking that the Bucks are back in form, and I think they're looking really good. Honestly, I've been a little, like, FTR, they're great, don't get me wrong, but I haven't seen tons of them one-on-one lately, or two-on-two, I guess, would be the thing. So it'll be nice to see them and the Bucks, and hopefully we're going to get yet another classic match out of these two. I don't know how we can't out of these two teams. We then cut to quickly a Brody King backstage message, and again, hats off to AEW because I like the fact they very well could have just written off Brody King. but they showed the clip of him after the match Saturday night after he lost to MJF, and he's like, "We ain't done, son. I came this close. I got a taste, and now I want it." And he wants to get the title back. He wants to get back at MJF. Not the title back, but he wants to get in the title picture, and he wants to get back at MJF. And I believe they made the announcement they're wrestling maybe next weekend, but I'm not, or next Wednesday. But I don't remember because it's late, and yeah, I took my Ritalin early this morning. So yeah. Then we have the four-way match for the TBS title. You have Maria Shafir, Megan Bayne, Mina Shirakawa going up against the champ Willow Nightingale. And it was really cool to see the title on the line. I don't know when the last time we saw the TBS title on the line, but it was nice to see Willow out there by herself, shining like Willow can. And I think Willow Nightingale looks like a star. She is a star, and I think they need to continue to just keep that spotlight on her. I think she's doing an amazing job. She is so over. The fans love her. She so has that infectious energy, and she's just really a really positive influence in the ring, and she's so good in the ring. But man, I know the women's division gets a lot of flack, but I liked this match a lot. I thought Megan and Marina working together early, kind of saw that coming. They did a good job of doing that. Willow did a double lung blower on both of them that, again, maybe I've seen it before. I don't know. Looked really cool. Really like that. And then Willow and Megan Bayne had a clothesline contest, and oof, it looked great. It looked really good. And then, of course, you had some fallout. Marina pulled Megan out of the ring. They square off. That'll be great if those two go at it. I will love that. Overall, Willow gets the pin on Mina. Nice little roll-up. Really good match. I enjoyed that one. One of my favorite women's matches on TV in a while. Then, of course, they gave us a recap of Grand Slam Australia. That was really a really nice thing. I'm glad they're showing more stuff that maybe if you didn't watch over the weekend, you can see what's really going on. Then, holy cats, get ready, because Hangman and MJF were in the ring, and they couldn't touch each other, but they could talk. And basically the fallout is they hate each other. They hate each other. And MJF was reminding Hangman of how he kind of fell apart. He's saying that he just couldn't handle it. He crumbled the 2 times he had the title and lost it. And so he was going after that personal dig of you crumble under the pressure. Hangman turned around, made fun of MJF's new hair, which I knew he has new hair. But now that Hangman's brought it up, all I could see the rest of the night was the new hair. That's all I could see. So both guys, they got super personal. Hangman now wants a stipulation. He says, You name a stipulation, I'll name a stipulation, we'll let the fans vote on it. And of course, MJF's like, no, I'm not an idiot. And then Hangman throws out the Cody stipulation. Hangman says, Max, if you give me this, I will never challenge for the AEW title ever again. So we'll see. It makes me think that Hangman's got to win. That's what I think. I think Hangman, when you throw that out, Hangman has to win. He has to win. Otherwise, I just don't know. I don't know. I don't like that stipulation. I wasn't a fan when Cody did it. I'm not a fan that Hangman's doing it. I understand the storytelling, that it shows how desperately Hangman wants the belt and how Hangman knows he's got 2 wins over MJF. I do get it. And of course, Hangman, his stipulation, Texas Death. We'll see what MJF comes up with. Of course, we're not going to hear about it until next week, so we'll find out. But yes, MJF said, sure, Hanger. If you're never going to wrestle for the title again after I beat you, yeah, I'll take that match. And so that's what we're going to have. Backstage, we have the Death Riders interview. Mox starts it off. Then Pac picks it up. Garcia adds in there. Mox comes back, says he's not done with Takeshita. He wants a no time limit match at Revolution. And of course, you know how Tony Khan is. Before the end of the night, he made the match official. That is happening. We did not get to see Yuta and his newly bald head from over the weekend. So, little disappointing. Oh, and I almost forgot. Bryan Danielson back on commentary. Loved it. Love having him back in the chair. He also was disappointed we didn't get to see bald Yuta, but, you know, you can wish in one hand. You know how it goes. Then we had Orange Cassidy and Ishii against Gabe Kidd and Clark Connors. And I got to be honest, I am really growing on this Kidd Connors tag team. Those two are brutal, and they're efficient in the ring, and they're starting to look really legitimate. I'm really starting to like this team as just some devastating guys in the ring. And maybe I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that they're bringing that New Japan energy over with them, and it feels kind of fresh. I really liked it, and I like seeing them work. Of course, Darby Allin shows up, attacks Gabe Kidd, hauls him away. Now, my question is, are we going to see Gabe Kidd ever again? Because they took Darby out into the desert, and I'm sure he wants to get some revenge. So maybe he took Gabe Kidd into the... I don't know where he took him, but he was gone. Ishii got the pin. Not sure if Ishii got hurt. It looks he was selling his hip. I don't know if that was actually happening, but he was definitely selling his hip. I'm going to move my desk here so my camera stops moving. There we go. And so hopefully Ishii is okay, but it looked like he might legitimately have hurt his hip or his hamstring, but really solid match. Then we go backstage for Don Callis' Family Chaos, where the family is just beating up a bunch of mooks. Callis comes in, he accepts Mox's challenge, and then Okada comes in, takes a shot at Takeshita, which I really, really liked. And then Callis, and I love this move, Don Callis, so damn good, calls out Claudio, says, you've got that CMML heavyweight title or whatever it's called, the CMML title. It looked really great around Andrade's waist. So called him out for that. Pretty sure we're going to see that at Revolution. I don't remember if they made that official or not, but yeah. Then we got a weird Hook promo. Hook once again saying he's in charge and they're recruiting. That was the end of that one. Brawlin' Birds made their Dynamite debut. They look great. They really do. Windsor, Hayter, they took on two people. They didn't get a lot of hype. I think it was Becca and Viva Vance. They both got to get in some offense, but really this was a squash. They look good. The double team action looked good with these two, the Brawlin' Birds. Still don't like the name, but I understand it, and I like this team. I think the women's division is really starting to blossom, as is evidenced by who made their return to Dynamite after the match, backstage with Renee, Thunder Rosa. Now, what's weird is Thunder Rosa was with Chris Statlander. Now, I don't know if this is a shoot or a work. I don't know if it's really happening, but apparently Statlander isn't cleared to wrestle as of yet, supposedly. So Thunder Rosa said she'll take on Tekla, but she's actually going to be taking on Julia Hart, I believe, at Collision. So it was a weird promo. I like Thunder Rosa in the ring. It was just a weird dynamic between Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander, and it felt a little forced because Rosa has been gone for a long time. I can't remember the last time we saw her. And Statlander, it was just weird. I like both of them. This pairing scene, I don't know if it's a pairing of convenience where they need someone to wrestle these people, and maybe Statlander really can't wrestle. I don't know. But I'll just be excited to see Thunder Rosa back in the ring because, again, it looks like the women's division is really finally starting to heat up and get some momentum, even without Mercedes Moné. So that, I'm looking forward to it. This promo, though, was kind of weird. Then you had a Jet Speed promo, Kevin Knight. And weirdly, this Jet Speed promo backstage was good. I didn't hate it. Speedball Mike Bailey, when he's excited and talking and doesn't say a lot, he comes across as kind of competent. I don't know. He seems to have more of a personality now. He seems to be coming across more positively to me. And so I'm liking that growth that I'm seeing in how they're presenting him and how he's presenting himself. I really do think that You give them these short little promos in the back. It will do them both a lot of good, especially Speedball. So Speedball is really starting to grow on me as far as like the mic work stuff. In ring, he's always been great. And then you have Jet Speed taking on the Beast Mortos. And if the Beast Mortos wins, that means his team, LMFAO or whatever. No, I know is it LFI? Yeah, LFI. If Mortos wins, LFI is going to get a Trios Championship. So clearly I thought, well, no one's challenging for the Trios Championship. Of course he's going to win. Nope. Did not. Really nice match, though. I thought those two went at it really well. Nice combo. You had the strong style of Mortos. You had, of course, Michael Knight. Kevin Knight, I know. Kevin Knight doing his thing, which was flying around all over the place. They both looked really good. But Kevin Knight got the pin. And I was like, that's weird. Who is going to challenge for the title? Because someone's got to challenge for that Trios title. Well, we find out in just a moment. We did get another Ospreay promo with some new audio over the top, and it sounds like Ospreay's coming back. He is getting more fired up in these promos, and I'm kind of starting to dig it. So I'm getting excited to have Ospreay back. I don't know if he's going to be back in time for Revolution. I'm going to assume so. I'm going to assume he's going to come back and probably make his appearance at the end of the title match. That would be my guess, but I'm not 100% sure. And then after that, we cut back to a backstage promo with Ricochet and The Demand. And guess what they want? The Trios titles. I think that's great. I think they're going to be going for the titles on Saturday. Would not shock me if they take those titles from Jet Set Rodeo, I believe is what they're calling it. Wouldn't shock me if they took the titles, but I can also see them leaving them on Jet Set Rodeo because those are the titles for Speedball in the Jet. Hangman doesn't really need it. Although if he doesn't win at Revolution, he might need any title he could get. So I'm kind of intrigued as to how that's going to pan out and how that is going to shake out, because I do like having Jet Speed with titles. I don't think these are the appropriate titles for them because I don't believe they've ever really pushed that Trios Championship enough. I don't think we've seen it often enough. So I'm glad to see the Demand going after it. Again, I think the Demand is underutilized, underrated. And it'd be nice to see them challenge for that title because it just seems weird with Hangman so caught up in his solo title run that once he won those titles and now with Joe out, it kind of doesn't have the impact it should have had, because he said, yeah, I'm taking everything away from you, Joe. Well, now Joe's out. So I don't know how I feel about it. I like having Jet Speed with belts, but I kind of want the Demand to win. So there we go. Then, of course, we finally get, of course, this is going to be my match of the night. Swerve versus Omega. I even wrote down, I'm stupid excited. Holy shit chant started before they ever locked up. And these two, I can't describe everything that went on, but man, these two are just so good and they're so smooth. They're two of my favorite wrestlers in the moment. Kenny's been my favorite for a long, long time. And they're just amazing. This was violent and smart and smooth. And they went everywhere. And let me just say, Kenny did a Snapdragon onto the apron that looked amazing. Maybe my move of the night. Until maybe the Avalanche Snapdragon he did inside the ring. That was pretty dope. Then as we get towards the end, Swerve pulls Aubrey in the way of a Kenny Omega V-trigger. And by the way, hats off to Aubrey Edwards. She ate that V-trigger like a champ. It wasn't one of those faraway shots. It was a close-up shot. Aubrey Edwards, hats off. She took that like a champ. So Swerve gets the no ref 3 count. You know how it goes. Lays over. Crowd's chanting. He rolls off. Then Swerve just starts going to town on Kenny. He catapults Kenny into the metal attachment between the ropes and the pole. after he took the padding off. And again, that looked brutal and devastating. Brutal. Swerve ends up getting the win with a new ref in there. I was a little shocked that Swerve won, but man, I'm never going to be disappointed in those two going at it. And then I think we got the Swerve because Swerve attacked Kenny, and he attacked him brutally. He got the chain out, hung Kenny over the top rope by the neck. Then he clears off the commentary table, pulls the steps over, gets Kenny, and does a vertebraker onto the announce table. And then he just starts shouting, "I needed this." Man. So if Kenny doubted Swerve about being the most dangerous man in AEW, I think Kenny has changed his mind, because that was a devastating match. Match of the night. It was great. I think we got finally the Swerve. I think maybe he finally decided to pull the heel trigger. But again, I just think that's Swerve. He is going to be the guy he's going to be, and that's fine. But this match, chef's kiss, so good. Very aggressive, violent, smooth, everything you want. All in all, I thought this was an interesting Dynamite, because that last match, again, top notch. I had a lot of matches here that I liked and I enjoyed, and I don't really have much to ding the matches themselves and even the backstage interviews, other than the Thunder Rosa thing, which I thought was a little weird. I kind of felt this Dynamite was fine. It was good. It was good. But I think maybe the excitement of coming off Grand Slam Australia and seeing that action and coming back with setup towards Revolution, because they're in the building phase of Revolution. You know, not everything can be 100 miles an hour, and I do understand that. Again, I always enjoy Dynamite. I have always enjoyed AEW, the product, and I'm still loving the show. I'm not disappointed in the show. I don't want you to think I am, but it felt okay. I thought the Kenny and Swerve match was phenomenal. I loved the four-way match with the women. I even liked the Cassidy Ishii match. I didn't think was going to be as good as it was, and it was. And it showed Connors and Kid to just be brutal and violent and aggressive, and I really liked seeing that out of them. I really liked that team. So all in all, I thought the show was really good. Really nice. We'll see what they set up for Collision and next week. But yeah, otherwise, that is it. A short run, a solo run on on AEW Dynamite with Elite Heat. Tim will be back next week. Don't forget, like, subscribe, check out the full podcast. You can check us out anywhere, social media, Elite Heat Pod. So yeah, I think that's going to be it. So, are we done? Apparently, we're done. No, that's not my dog over there. Talking to the monkey. All right, till next time. See you. Bye.